I didn't recognize myself the night I slept in the back seat of my own truck, the same truck she'd later claim in the divorce. The ranch, the business, the accounts, the dog named Bear. She stripped it all with a smile carved by the lawyer I paid for. Her final text hung in the dark like a taunt etched on concrete. "You'll never recover from this." That was the last thing she got right. I used to replay our early days, before the money, before the rot. She laughed easily then, held my face like it was something worth holding. We built the trucking company together, or at least I believed we did. I didn't know she had been building something else behind the scenes. Escape routes, secret accounts, a quiet alliance with my business partner who pretended to be my brother. I found out about their affair a week before the divorce papers slammed onto my desk. She didn't bother hiding it. She wanted me to break, to crumble on record. I didn't give her that. I signed the papers, walked out of the courtroom, and drove Uber to eat. 33 years old. Broke, betrayed, ground down to the bone. That's where the story should have ended. But life doesn't always respect endings. Sometimes it hands you a new beginning disguised as a forgotten purse. It was a simple ride. Woman in a red blazer, talking too fast on the phone, complaining about quarterly reports. She rushed out, left a leather purse on the seat. Inside, a badge for a financial firm downtown, a name, and a worn photograph of her with an old man. I drove to return it. My life pivoted in the lobby of that marble building. Her assistant, a woman with silver glasses and the kind of voice that slices clean, stared at me like she was seeing a ghost. "You're James Holloway's son, aren't you?" I laughed because the name meant nothing. Never heard of him. Her face fell like she'd just broken something priceless. "But he worked here in 1987. He died 3 months ago. He owned 75% of this company." The room shifted. I felt the air stretch thin. "What are you saying?" I asked. She swallowed. "You're his only heir." There are moments when your entire life unravels and rethreads itself in front of you. That afternoon, my threads changed direction. Pain sharpened into purpose, and revenge began to take shape. I didn't run home screaming that I was a multimillionaire. I stayed quiet. Silent wealth is the sharpest blade. First, I hired my own investigator, using an advance from my inheritance. I had him dig into everything: the affair, the accounts she hid, the forged signatures my ex and partner used to transfer assets before the divorce. He uncovered messages between them planning to move the ranch into a shell company the moment I was out of the picture. They'd done it all knowing they'd leave me with debt and humiliation. Second, I hired a forensic accountant. He traced every illegal transfer, every falsified book entry, every asset they siphoned. Third, I bought back my trucking company, quietly, through a holding firm with no trace to my name. My ex-wife and partner never saw the new ownership documents. They were too busy celebrating the clean escape. Fourth, I acquired the land surrounding the ranch, acre by acre. Their ranch, my land. They didn't even notice the shell companies buying it. Then came the day I had been architecting in silence. I invited them both to a financial mediation at the firm handling the ranch's paperwork. They arrived smug and confident. She wore the same lipstick she wore when she lied to the judge. He carried the same cheap cologne that stained my memories of the business we built together. They thought they were meeting to discuss my continued harassment. They thought they'd finish me off legally. Instead, I slid a thin folder across the table. She opened it. Her face drained first. His followed. Inside, bank statements showing stolen funds, photos of them signing illegal transfers, emails plotting to bankrupt me, property maps showing that the entire perimeter of their ranch now belonged to an unknown holding firm. My firm. She looked up slowly. "What? What is all this?" "Evidence," I said. "Enough to put both of you in prison." He stammered about misunderstandings. She tried a softer tactic, the voice she once used to talk me out of nightmares. I cut her off. I'm not pressing charges. Relief washed over them. They didn't understand that mercy wasn't part of the gift. "You're just going to walk away?" she whispered. "No, I'm taking everything back." I handed them final documents, a clean offer. They would transfer full ownership of the ranch, the accounts, the remaining assets, and the company to me. In exchange, I would sign a legal agreement not to pursue criminal charges. They signed, hands shaking, faces pale. Their empire collapsed in 47 seconds. When it was done, I stood. "You told me I'd never recover," I said. "You were right. I didn't recover. I rebuilt." I walked out of that conference room with everything they stole and with something more valuable, the clarity of someone who survived betrayal without letting it turn him into a begging man. The ranch is mine again. Bear is asleep at my feet as I write this. The company is thriving under my leadership, not theirs. And sometimes, late at night, I open my phone and scroll to her old text. "You'll never recover from this." I smile every time, because she was right. I didn't recover. I transformed.